The blood created a slippery surface on the long wooden stairs. Gee, being a murderer is such a dangerous business. For those who do not know me, my name is Dave. However, you may know me by my nickname. They call me the Mover. I did not create that, of course. The newspaper gave it to me. Read about it sometime. There are hundreds of articles to choose from. If you have never heard of me, which is truly unrealistic, let me describe myself to you. Ever since I was 10 years old, I had a fascination with the individual parts of the body. That is because my lovely dad was a morgue worker, so naturally I wanted to investigate them. I was 15 when I acted upon it. I was chopping some wood when a child, around 6, was walking home from school. She interested me. I grabbed the axe and struck her. It felt, ellipses, great. She was so powerless, so defenseless. I had hit her stomach. She lay in the dirt writhing in pain. I kept hitting. Her body began to disassemble. Such lovely memories. Blood splattered with her strike. It was very interesting. This excited me greatly. The kill was sensational. The body is mesmerizing. From that day forth, I dedicated my life to exploring the hundreds of body types. So that explains why I do it. But why am I called the Mover? I take their dismembered body parts and scatter them. I take pleasure in frustrating the cops. I walk up the stairs with great caution and look at the woman's shocked face. Her eyes were stunning. Such beauty needs to be preserved. I grabbed a kitchen knife and accidentally plunged it in her eye. Blood shot out of her eye. Damn it, madam. Do you see what you did to my new shirt? Some people have no regards for others. I grabbed her head and punted her head outside. A blue car flashed by and hit the head. The car stopped. What a great mistake I made. The 16-year-old girl ran out of the car. I smiled excitedly. This is my favorite part. The scream. She began to cry and scream. That was my cue. I rushed and hid behind her car. I grabbed a knife that I put in my bag. I stealthily crawled under the car. The girl was oblivious. I took the knife and plunged it into her foot. The scream was sensational. I then jumped out from behind and dragged her into the back seat. I took the bloodied knife out of her foot. She called for help. I caught her. How dare she try to escape? I won. I quickly took her tongue and cut it out. Try now, I teased. I took the tongue off of my knife and began to dissect. Just before I cut her stomach, I saw her eyes wander to see what I was going to do. No peeking. I grabbed the knife and cut her eyes out. Not as good as the other woman's, but these can do. Now enjoy. I began to plunge my knife deeper. I felt her intestines, not what I need. I went slightly high and found the prize, the heart. I grabbed it and pulled it out. I gazed at it. I took my knife and stabbed it. Blood rushed over the car. I loved it. I began to cut off every part of her body when I saw something move out of the corner of my eye. It was a dog. I jumped out of my car and walked towards it. It was a very small dog. My favorite type of dog. Something you should know in advance. I love animals. Not in a murderous way. I picked it up and it followed me. And it allowed me. I looked around it. It was a skinny dog. Malnourished, I would say. I saw a caller. Please, if found, please call 683-9000. I muttered to myself. I quickly called the number and told them to pick it up. I set the dog down and fed it some food I found in the woman's home. She did not eat it. When the owner came over, I picked up the dog and my hatchet. The obese woman sat in an old pickup truck. The woman called, "Bring that bastard over here!" I walked over to her and set the dog down. I intended fully on having no deaths, mind you. She decided that she didn't want the dog, so she just drove off. I heard a yelp and looked down. The woman had hit the dog's paw. "Hey, you piece of shit, stop!" I grabbed my hatchet and threw it. It hit the tire, and she skidded off the road and hit a tree. I ran over and threw her down. "This one will hurt," yells surrounded the forest. Just another day in the life of the mover.